There is something powerful about a person who refuses to give up. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady. Steady in faith, steady in hope, steady in trust. Maybe right now you don't feel strong. Maybe you feel stretched, tested, a little worn down from carrying things you never asked to carry. But look at how far you've come. You are still standing, and that matters. Some people would have quit by now. Some would have hardened their heart. Some would have stopped praying. But you're still here, still believing, still hoping, even if that hope feels small. And that tells me something about you. It tells me that God is sustaining you, even in ways you don't recognize. You may not feel courageous, but continuing when it's hard is courage. Maybe you don't feel faithful, but turning to God instead of turning bitter is faith. Trust in God isn't proven when everything makes sense. It's proven when it doesn't. When the door closes, when the plan shifts, when the timeline stretches longer than you've imagined. That's when trust becomes real. There are seasons when God calms the storm. And there are seasons when He strengthens you in the middle of it. And sometimes the greater miracle isn't that the storm stopped. It's that you didn't sink. Maybe the breakthrough you've been praying for hasn't arrived yet. But look at you. You're wiser. You're stronger. You're more discerning than you were before. Hard seasons don't just test us, they refine us. They burn away illusions. They strip away what isn't solid. They teach us to anchor ourselves in God. And when everything around you feels unstable, God becomes your stability. When people misunderstand you, God understands you. When opportunities fall through, God remains faithful. When your strength runs low, God does not. Hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is anchored in who God is, and who He is constant. Maybe you don't know how the situation will turn around, but you know that God will turn your situation around. You know God doesn't waste pain. God doesn't waste waiting. He doesn't waste tears. He doesn't waste seasons that feel hidden. Sometimes what feels like being overlooked is actually being protected. Protected from something that wasn't aligned. Protected from something that would have broken you later in life. Protected while God prepares you for something better. If today feels heavy, don't interpret that as failure. Because growth can feel heavy. Becoming can feel uncomfortable. Transformation rarely feels easy, but difficulty doesn't mean defeat. Let me say that again. Difficulty doesn't mean defeat. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You're in process. And God does some of His best work in the process. It's in the unseen places, the quiet prayers, the private tears, the moments when no one else is watching. That's where faith deepens. And deep faith is unshakable. One day, this season will make sense. One day, the pieces will connect. One day, you will see why you had to walk through this particular stretch of the road. But for now, you don't need all the answers. You just need the next step, which is trusting in God. Trust God today. Trust Him with this moment. Trust Him with the part of you that don't understand. You don't have to carry tomorrow. You don't have to solve next year. You don't have to force the outcome. You just have to stay connected, stay prayerful, stay open, stay willing. Because there is a quiet strength forming in you right now, even when you don't recognize it. A strength that isn't based on hype. A strength that isn't dependent on circumstances. A strength that says, no matter what, I trust God. Because that kind of strength changes everything. Because when your foundation is faith, fear loses its grip. Doubt loses its volume, and uncertainty loses its power to paralyze you. You're not walking alone, even when you feel unseen, even when you feel delayed, even when you feel unsure. God walks with you. He walks into the waiting. He walks into the confusion. He walks into the unknown future that feels intimidating. And if God is there, you can move forward. So if you're on the edge of giving up, just pause, take a breath, and remember who holds your life. Remember who has carried you this far. Remember the times you thought you wouldn't make it and you did. That wasn't luck. That was grace. And the same grace is available to you now. So have faith, not because everything is easy, but because God is faithful. Not because you can't see the full path, but because you trust God who is guiding it. Friend, your story is still unfolding. Your growth is still happening. Your breakthrough is still possible. Stay steady. Stay anchored. Stay hopeful. Because God is not finished with you yet. And if you found this video helpful, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more content that nurtures your soul. And remember, you are loved. You are so loved. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.